Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to my deck list for Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Online Ranked episode 104. In this episode I was looking at a Galaxy Eyes archetype as requested by subscriber Mikey MJS, who wanted to see my take on the deck and give you some tips and tricks on how to run it and what kind of things to look for. So in my experience, I haven't had too long playing this deck, but I have played against it with friends many times over the last year or so that I've been playing Legacy of the Duelist. And what I've learned about this deck is that it's really good at making rank 8 plays, and it's so good at having a rank 8 box. That means it can go into rank 8 summons quite easily, which are some of the most powerful ranked monsters in the game and have a variety of cool effects. The main weakness I find with Galaxy monsters, however, or the Galaxy archetype, is that a lot of their cards trade evenly and don't necessarily generate advantage. By that, what I mean is they play a card and you get an effect or a monster from it, but then you lose the card that you played in order to get that monster out. In this day and age, if you can't generate a lot of advantage on your own, say like using your graveyard as an extra resource or your banish power as an extra resource, then you kind of fall behind, not necessarily in power, but you fall behind in just how many resources you have in order to create outs to different situations. And so because of that, my view on this deck is that you have to have some variant of stun in it in order to make it work effectively and for a variety of different situations. So let's go into the main deck and I'll talk about what kind of stun effects I'll talk about what the stuns are on the way first. So I tried to include as many viable ways to stun as possible, and those are our trap cards here: Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike, and Solemn Vanity's Emptiness. Vanity's Emptiness particularly is a really good card. If you have your board set up, so let's say you went first and you get another one of your big monsters on the field and you have Vanity's Emptiness set down, you can pretty much almost stun your opponent for a turn or two, and then that will give you the time to swing for game. As well as that, our monsters that we use for stun are Cyber Dragon Infinity, and then we also have Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand, Lancelot Dark Knight of the Underworld, and Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. I do know this takes away from the Galaxy kind of theme a little bit, but I honestly think this is very viable in order to set up your field with these cards and then go into your Galaxy monsters in order to make big plays. I'll quickly talk about what these do so we know what we're working towards. Cyber Dragon Infinity, I think a lot of people know what this card does, but in case you don't, you bring this card out mostly by summoning Cyber Dragon Nova, which requires 2 level 5 machine type monsters. Your targets for that are Cyber Dragon and Galaxy Soldier. Then once you do that, you can potentially use Cyber Dragon Nova's effect to special summon a Cyber Dragon from your graveyard, giving you another resource to go into another level 5 play if you are able to. Otherwise, you just allow it to be underlaid underneath Cyber Dragon Infinity, which has an amazing effect. Its effect is that it gains 200 attack for each material attached to it, but its first effect is that once per turn you can target one face-up attack position monster on the field and attach it to this card's face-up material. So it's a good form of removal. Just take one of your opponent's monsters and attach it to this card, like Silent Honor Arc 101, whatever that card is called. And then once per turn during either player's turn, when a card effect is activated, you can detach a card from it and negate it and destroy it. It's a solemn judgment pretty much for anything your opponent tries to run that you think will try and make a comeback or try and take control of the field. You can use Infinity's effect in order to stop it. Getting this out really early on is great, especially when paired with, say, your trap cards, Warning and Emptiness. Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand is a little bit of a reverse option here. It's a bit more of an offensive stun. It can target any monster on the field during either player's turn and negate its effects. That could be itself, it could be any other monster that your opponent plays. It just shuts down its effect. Its double-edged sword though effect is that any monster that it chooses to do this will be unaffected by card effects for the rest of the turn. So you can use this on Felgrand yourself. Let's say your opponent plays Raigeki, you can play this on your own monster. Let's say you're in a situation where you had Infinity on the field and you wanted to save his effect. You could then protect it with Felgrand, and then it won't be affected by card effects, but it will lose its negation effects. The other card which we have here is number 23, Lancelot Dragon Dark Knight of the Underworld. This is a bit of a poor man's Hope Harbinger and Cyber Dragon Infinity, but I think it's worth having around, as in this deck we can run it quite easily. This card has a very weak attack. It's only 2000 attack, so do be aware of that. But its effect is as follows. If it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it, but the real reason why you run this effect is that once per turn, during either player's turn, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, you can detach a material and negate the activation. It's stun, it's really good, it's really effective stun. Even though it has very weak stats, it can be just enough there for you to make a good play. So I have it there just as an additional option in case my opponent finds it out to infinity, and Hope Harbinger. And Hope Harbinger is your spell stun once per turn during either player's turn. When a spell card or effect is activated on the field, you can negate that effect, and if you do, attach that card to this card as XE material. So again, just more and more stun. This is what I think you need to work towards first before you worry about summoning out your big monsters, because they will typically be vulnerable, and if your opponent finds a way to out your monsters, you've lost a lot of resources that you spent in order to get them onto the field. So get your stun out there first. Now I'll go into the profile for this video, and we'll quickly break down what the monsters, spells and traps are. For your level 5s, we have a Cyber Dragon core. It can search out Cyber Repair Plant, which then can search out your Soldier and your Cyber Dragon. But most importantly, it can also be banished from the graveyard if you have no monsters in the field to special summon out Cyber Dragon for free, giving you one of your necessary level 5s. We have Max D there to give you extra draw power against your opponent's special summons. So, and then we also have Galaxy Soldier, which is another piece of your rank 5 engine, which can be special summoned to the field quite easily, and comes out pretty much for free if you discard a light monster. For your rank 8 engine, we have 3 copies of Galaxy Wizard. It levels itself up to level 8, and it can also be tributed to add any Galaxy card from your deck to your hand. That's any card, not just monster. So you can get Knight out, you can get Soldier out, you can get Expedition out, and you can get Zero out, whatever you need in the situation that you are. You won't really go for Photon, because Photon is something you want in your graveyard, unless, let's say, you had Traded in your hand and you wanted to discard it as a cost for that. But it's a really versatile card and really worth running. Knight, when normal summoned, can be normal summoned for free if you have a Photon or Galaxy monster on your field, and when normal summoned, special summons out Tachyon Dragon from your graveyard. Really, you just want this as a rank 8 play. It does lose attack, it does get a bit weak for this, but it is just a Northern for your rank 8s, and gets Tachyon Dragon out from the graveyard easily. Similarly, Galaxy Ice Tachyon Dragon has a large variety of effects. It has a banishing effect when it battles a monster, but really you just use it for a rank 8 play, and I've never really used it for its effect. But it is a 3000 attack monster, so don't sleep on it, its basic effect either. The only non-Galaxy monster which I'm running in this deck, besides Max Z and the Cyber Dragons, is Guardian of Order. It's just a really easy to summon a level 8 monster. If you have 2 or more light monsters on the field, you can special summon it from your hand. Just another way of making more level 8 plays. Really solid, easy to use. Axo Light, for our spells now. Axo Light, if you control no monsters, you can special summon Galaxy Wizard from your deck. It's really the only target you can go for, and it's nice to get Galaxy Wizard out for free without using your normal summon. Let's say special summon it from your deck, then bring out Galaxy Knight so he can then recur Tachyon Dragon. But it is a little bit situational because you only have 3 targets for it, so you might want to reduce this to 1, maybe even none. And oh, I forgot to say, oh no, I made a mistake. You can't normal summon when you use this effect, so forget the whole thing with Tachyon Dragon. So I might reduce this to 1, but at the time being, I'll leave it at 2. We have Cyber Repair Plant. Cyber Repair Plants searches out your machine type monsters, so it's there for Cyber Dragon and Soldier. Expedition, if you have a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster on the field, you special summon 1 level 5 Photon or Galaxy monster in your deck from your deck in face up defense position. I strongly recommend getting that Soldier, because Soldier when special summon gives you a +1. So you play Expedition, get out Soldier, hopefully you have another level 5 already on the field, and then you can get out any other Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can use Soldier to go into a rank 5 play. If you can't do that though, go for your rank 8s, your level 8s to go to a rank 8 play as well. It's just as viable. Galaxy Zero is a premature burial for this deck. It brings back a monster from the graveyard with Galaxy or Photon in its name. That can be really whatever you need for a rank 8 play. The rest of its effect does not matter at all. It's whatever. The monster you bring back can't attack or use its effect, so you just are using it as fodder for a rank 5 or rank 8 play. Ideally that would be Tachyon Dragon, but it could be Soldier if you want to go for a rank 5 play as well. 2 copies of Instant Fusion for Northern and Panzer Dragoon as more options for the deck. Soul Charge brings back monsters from the graveyard. Trade in lets you dump your level 8 in order to draw more, which is really helpful for this deck, and 3 copies of Twin Twister to destroy your opponent's back row, and we've talked about the traps already. Now, Instant Fusion is a nice play in this deck. We use it to either go into, as a single card, to go into Castel or Diamond Direwolf. Castel for bouncing a card from the field that's face up. Diamond Direwolf you usually use to destroy back row that are face down. Really great way of just making a quick summon and doing that for a single card. So I think it's worth having those 2 around. It brings back Wizard as well, so that's always good. And then we also have Panzer Dragon, just as a level 5 monster, which can instantly or pretty much quickly make a rank 5 play. We have 1 copy of Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. I haven't used it, but anytime I play against a machine deck, or I am using a machine deck, I'm always scared of my opponent playing Cyber Dragon because of this card, because it can use any monsters on the field as materials that are machine type in order to make this card, so it's a good form of removal. For the rank 5 monsters, besides Cyber Dragon Nova, we have Pallades. He can bounce a card from the field during either player's turn. Really good disruptive play there. I don't really think there's anything you wouldn't bounce yourself, but on your side of the field, but it can disrupt your opponent's plays, so it's good as an alternative to Infinity once you have that on the field. And we also have Volcasaurus, which has an amazing burn effect by destroying 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It can steal the game for you, it can steal games, and it's just a good option to have. Felgram we talked about. We talked about the stun cards here, so let's talk about the Galaxy Eyes. There are only 3 other cards in this deck. The first one we need to acknowledge is 107, Tachyon Dragon. This is the card which you usually use to bring out Full Armor Photon Dragon and Dark Matter, but it also is a valuable monster. It negates the effects of all face-up monsters currently on the field if you go into the battle phase, and returns their attack and defense back to normal. And if your opponent activates an effect during the battle phase, say like a trap card, you can gain 1000 attack, and this card can attack again during each battle phase of the turn. So I don't really use it for that effect, and again I just use it to go into the other monsters, but it's there, it's viable, it's cool. Full Armor Photon Dragon has a 4000 attack, being a really strong monster, but its other effect basically is that you can destroy a face-up card your opponent controls. So if you want a bit of spot removal, go for Full Armor Photon Dragon, and then you have 4000 attack on the field. And then alternatively, you could go for Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. This can banish cards from your opponent's deck, but mostly you want to use this effect to detach the material from this card, and it can attack 2 monsters during each battle phase on the turn, which edit with 4000 attack, that's really strong. So that's my deck profile, that's my take on Galaxy Eyes. If I were to modify this more, and if I had more time, I probably would try to work in Kaiju somehow, because they're level 8s as well. They work with trading, and they're good forms of removal, but I didn't really have the time to kind of fit them in, but that's something else I might want to do. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you to Mikey MGS for asking for tips and advice, and if you guys ever want to play me, my username on PSN is TheArnold'sPlay. Feel free to play me. I'm pretty much playing this game every single day. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Take care.